Yes, Mother.
Your pathetic wife was here, and she said that she's leaving for good. Please, tell me it's true.
Who was there? At the house?
No class, no money. She was nothing but a despicable brat. But now that she's gone, you finally can.
Where is Jessica?
Jeremy, she just left a few minutes ago with...
Wait, let her take that from the house? Do you realize what you've done?
Oh! I've been giving Tiffany my blood this whole time. She's sleeping with my husband? How?
On the eve of their 3rd anniversary, Jessica was about to call her husband to tell him exciting news when a photo popped up on her phone screen that changed her life forever.
He chose me, you. Now, put your dignity and get out. And yes, those awesome.
Not only did Jessica just find out that her husband is cheating on her, but she just found out she's pregnant too. This was the 3rd time this month that Jessica was being forced to give Tiffany a blood transfusion. Tiffany was Jeremy's childhood friend. He felt indebted to her recovery from the accident she'd been in. But now all Jessica could think about was Tiffany and Jeremy together.
What is wrong with them? Tiffany is in critical condition. All right, so stop the drama and get...
No. Meet me at home. Depends on it.
Everything was a transaction to Jeremy, even their marriage. But it was time to give him a taste of his own medicine.
What's this all about, Jessica? I've already compensated you for the blood donations, so what did I need to rush home for?
Jessica used to walk on eggshells around Jeremy, but today she was standing her ground. She wouldn't live under his oppressive shadow any longer.
Think twice before doing this. We regret it.
The only regret I have is marrying you 3 years ago and signing that wedding contract. Now, I want out.
But Jeremy couldn't bring himself to sign.
Get your things, you're going to the hospital.
I'm not giving your lover another drop of blood. Not if she was on her deathbed.
I love it. Stop being ridiculous. You know what your problem is, Jessica? You're too dramatic. And now you're going to let Tiffany die because of it.
Jessica's conscience weighed on her. Even though Tiffany was conniving, could Jessica really let her die?
Fine. I'll do it one last time. Then, it's over.
What took you so long?
Oh, are you still crying over the little photo I sent?
No, thanks for sending the photo. Allow me to return the favor.
Jessica, what the hell are you doing?
Just making sure my point hit home.
Done nothing wrong. Nothing!
Don't play the victim card. I know what's going on here.
It all began to add up for Jeremy. He had rushed to the hospital yesterday after getting a call from Tiffany, his childhood friend. Jeremy arrived straight from work. It was late by the time he got to her room. He had changed to something more comfortable since he was going to stay here all night, but he could barely keep his eyes open. Tiffany always hated that Jeremy chose Jessica over her, but now she was going to get rid of Jessica for good.
Is this why you wanted a divorce? And did you take this photo while I was sleeping?
Jeremy, Jessica's got it all wrong. She must have manipulated it. I didn't take that photo.
Jeremy didn't know what to do. Jessica was his wife, but he had made another promise years ago. Tiffany was his responsibility.
Jessica, just get over yourself. Tiffany needs help, so let's do it.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Are we ready to proceed with transfusion?
Does she actually need another transfusion, doctor?
Yes. Miss Tiffany had a severe fall and there's significant blood loss in her leg. She needs the transfusion.
Wait, then, yeah, let's get on with it.
Wait, hold on a minute. I knew it! There was never an injury. She just wanted you to pity her, Jeremy. And you fell for it.
It's what you think.
That's it. I'm leaving. I could never be with a man who values someone as pathetic as this over his own wife.
Despite her victory over Tiffany, Jessica felt the world crumbling around her. The wedding band now felt like a mockery, a symbol of a love that didn't actually exist.
I want anything that reminds me of him or this marriage.
Fighting tears, Jessica dialed a number she hadn't called in 3 years.
I need you. Come get me now.
Tell me, doctor, is all this a ruse to get me away from my wife?
It was Tiffany's orders. We were just following policy, following her orders. She said you agreed.
Get away from me. Now!
Oh, no, Jeremy!
Jeremy was trying to make sense of all of this. He wanted answers, and he wanted them now. But every time he closed his eyes, Jessica's face haunted him. Had Jeremy enabled Tiffany too much? Had Jessica filed for a divorce over a misunderstanding? He knew their marriage had been loveless for so long, but he would make it right. They could start over.
Find my wife's location and report back to me, please, immediately.
But Jessica was long gone already. And this man had helped her escape.
Thank you for everything.
Always. Come. Car is out front, and I think I have something I'd like to see.
Yes. Well, did you check the cameras? Where could she possibly be?
Jeremy knew that there was more going on here than meets the eye. And he was going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay. Find her and report back to me immediately.
It's been so long since I've last been here.
3 years, in fact.
I really thought I'd stay with Jeremy forever.
I warned you about him. That marriage contract we signed. Tying yourself to that for 3 years. What were you thinking?
I know, I'm sorry. I'm pregnant with his child.
You'd fix it. Let's do what I say. Even if that means hurting your ex-husband, Jeremy. Understood?
Before, you said there was someone I would want to see?
You'll find out. First, we need a plan to handle Jeremy and this marriage contract of yours.
What did this man have in store for Jeremy? And who was the mystery person that he was hiding from Jessica? Jessica returned to the Thornton mansion, the place where she was treated so poorly all these years. But as soon as she entered the house, the memories hit her. Her mind went back to 3 years ago, to that stormy night she first set foot inside the mansion. Jeremy had brought her here directly from their courthouse marriage, but Jeremy's mother, Gretchen, wasted no time in making her feel unwelcome. Little did she know, Jessica had signed a document that would change her life forever.
Where is that document? It has to be. There you are.
Oh, there's the lousy gold digger now. Tell me, where did you spend the night last night? Because it certainly wasn't here.
Enough, Gretchen. Soon I'll be out of your hair forever.
Oh, no, you won't. You signed that contract.
You mean this contract? Oh, trust me. Once they read what you made me sign, you'll be begging them for forgiveness.
Who's they?
Well, let's just say I have some friends in high places.
I'll tell Sharon. You won't be allowed back in this house ever again, even if you're begging tears.
Rest assured, I won't be seeing your son or setting foot in this house ever again.
Oh, did you get them?
Yes.
Good. Now, the real work begins. And the Thorntons have no idea how much pain we'll inflict.
Any sign of her? What do you mean she's left the city? Just find her.
Jeremy knew if he wanted to find Jessica, he'd have to do it himself. Jeremy rarely spent any time on social media. There were many posts, moments of Jessica's life captured for the entire world to see. As Jeremy continued to search, he was struck by how beautiful she was. Why had he never seen her like that before? He realized he never made an attempt to get to know her.
What has happened?
Jeremy watched as Jessica's photos began to disappear, his ex-wife's social media presence fading before his eyes. Had she simply erased it all?
It's time. Are you ready?
I've never been more ready.
Good. Lucas is waiting for you.
I'm going to make the Thorntons pay for what they did to me.
Are you surprised I am here? Jessica spoke to the mysterious man in the fedora as she followed him into the study of the Abrams estate. The rich mahogany bookshelves, precious artifacts, and crackling fireplace felt both familiar and foreign after 3 long years away. Please, have a seat. Michael gestured to a leather sofa as he settled behind an imposing desk. I'm sure you have many questions. Jessica sank into the plush cushions, her mind reeling. Thank you for your help earlier, Michael. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't shown up. Of course, Jessica. I've been watching over you at your father's request since you left your family. I know everything. A flicker of anger ignited in Jessica's chest. So he had me followed, spied on? Michael held up a placating hand. Your father only wants to protect you. He's witnessed firsthand the damage a bad marriage can cause. Images of her mother's haunted eyes flashed through Jessica's mind. She had been so young when her mother passed away, a ghost of her former self after years of emotional torment from Jonathan. I left this life behind for a reason, Michael. Jessica's voice was heavy with emotion. I wanted to forge my own path, away from the Abrams name and all its baggage. Jessica Abrams was secretly the only daughter of a dangerous family. She had taken the name Jessica MacDonald when she went to college to distance herself from her father. Michael nodded understandingly. Look, Jessica, we all know that you're independent and you're strong, but sometimes even the strongest among us need a little help. That's where I come in. He slid a thick manila folder across the desk. This contains detailed information about Jeremy's business dealings and evidence that he's been using your name and reputation to cover up illegal activities. Jessica's breath caught as she flipped through the damning documents. How did you get all of this? Michael smiled slyly. I have my ways. The important thing is, we now have leverage to take Jeremy down if that's what you want. Jessica's mind whirled with conflicting emotions. Not that long ago, she had ached for vengeance. But now that she had processed her feelings, she worried about being dragged back into the cutthroat Abrams world she had tried to escape all those years ago. What's the catch, Michael? She asked warily. I know my father too well to think this comes without strings attached. Michael leaned back in his chair. Your father is willing to provide legal representation and resources to pursue this case against Jeremy. In return, he asks only that you allow him back into your life, if only for a short while. He just wants to reconnect. That's a hefty price. You know how complicated things are between us. I'll talk to him, but I hope he doesn't have any fantasy that I'm coming back to the family. That's completely off the table. I understand, Michael said, but Jonathan has made it clear he's not getting any younger, and he wants to mend fences with his only child before it's too late. Tell my father I'll hear him out, but that's all I can promise. I'm not the same naive girl who walked out of here all those years ago. Michael nodded. I'll let him know. For now, why don't you get some rest? I'll have a room prepared for you. Jessica's mind swirled with memories and uncertainty as she settled into the plush guest quarters later that night. Was reopening this door with her father the right move? Or was she trading one controlled existence for another? A soft knock at the door pulled her from her thoughts. Come in, she called out. The door opened to reveal Jonathan Abrams himself. Jessica felt her throat constrict as a tidal wave of emotions threatened to pull her under. Hello, Jessica, Jonathan said, his voice softer than she remembered. I knew you wouldn't be able to sleep. You're just like your father. Jessica gestured to the chair in the corner. Jonathan settled in, facing his daughter fully for the first time in years. I'll start with the obvious. I'm sorry, Jessica, for everything. His eyes shining with rare vulnerability. I was so focused on protecting the family empire that I lost sight of what truly matters. My family. Jessica listened in stunned silence as her father laid bare his regrets, his consuming drive that had pushed away the few people he loved most. Your mother saw it clearly before the end, Jonathan continued. She made me promise to be a better man, a better father to you. But I failed time and again. Tears streamed down Jessica's cheeks as she reached for her father's hand, gripping it tightly. I'm so sorry I couldn't live up to her memory. To be the daughter you wanted, it's just not who I am. I loved you both so much. I still do. Jonathan pulled his daughter into a fierce embrace, years of pain and loneliness melting away in that moment. No, my darling girl. It is I who failed you over and over. Can you find it in your heart to give this old man one final chance to let me make amends? Jessica pulled back, her eyes searching her father's. What she saw there was raw, unguarded love and regret. It touched a place deep within her that had been shuttered for far too long. "Of course, Dad," she said, a watery smile tugging at her lips. "It's all I've ever wanted, for us to be a family again." Jessica couldn't help but think of the life growing inside of her at the moment. A brilliant grin broke across Jonathan's weathered features. He looked decades younger in that instant, like he suddenly had a new sense of purpose. "Then it's settled," he declared. "We'll take down this scoundrel Jeremy together and start anew, you and I. No more secrets, no more manipulation, just a father and daughter, standing united as we were always meant to be." Jessica nestled into her father's embrace, letting the warmth and familiarity of it soothe her troubled soul. For the first time in years, she felt a sense of belonging, of coming home. But the path ahead would be anything but easy. As fatigue finally claimed her, Jessica's mind drifted to Jeremy and the looming battle that awaited. The next morning, Jessica entered the sun-drenched kitchen to find her father and Michael already deep in conversation over steaming mugs of coffee. "Yes, Jessica, did you sleep well?" Jonathan rose to greet her with a warm hug. Jessica smiled, relaxing into the tender gesture like a babe. "It's been too long since I felt so at peace." "I'm glad to hear it," Jonathan said, guiding her to the table, "because we have our work cut out for us regarding your soon-to-be ex-husband." Michael slid a fresh dossier across the table. "Here are detailed records of Jeremy's illegal offshore accounts, money laundering, corporate fraud, you name it. He's been up to all this while hiding behind your good name." Jessica flipped through the damning pages, her stomach churning at the sheer scope of Jeremy's misdeeds. "He used me. This whole marriage was a sham," she whispered, tears of anger and humiliation stinging her eyes. "That's right. The entire time, he was just trying to put a massive Ponzi scheme in your name," Michael said. "He was defrauding all of his investors, and your name, Jessica McDonald, is on all of his business documents." Jonathan reached over, covering her hand with his own. "That bastard will pay for what he's done. Jessica, no one takes advantage of an Abrams and gets away with it." A renewed sense of determination washed over Jessica. She was done being a victim, done letting Jeremy trample all over her life. "What's our next move?" she asked, straightening her shoulders and fixing Michael with an intense stare. "Well, we could go the civil route, file for divorce on the grounds of fraud and criminal conduct. The evidence we have would bury Jeremy in court." "But," Jessica prompted, sensing a caveat. But Michael continued, "That process could take years, with no guarantee of a positive outcome. The justice system has loopholes for the wealthy and connected, like the Thorntons." A muscle ticked in Jonathan's jaw at the implication. "So you're suggesting we take Jeremy down a different way? More directly?" Michael's lips curved into the barest hint of a smile. "I'm simply saying we have resources that your everyday divorcee could only dream of. Let's be honest, Jonathan. We're dealing with new tech money here. We can bury these fools in more ways than one." Jonathan turned to his daughter and said, "There's just one thing, Jessica. In order for Michael and I to help you fully, you'll need to change your last name back to Abrams. If you entered the marriage under the false name Jessica McDonald, returning to being an Abrams is an easy way to separate yourself from Jeremy's businesses and schemes." Jessica's eyes widened, a flicker of suspicion igniting within her. "What? Are you making your help conditional on me taking back the family name? On me coming back to work for you? This is exactly what I didn't want to happen." Jonathan held up his hands defensively. "Jessica, please understand. It's the clearest path forward to protect you legally and financially. but Jessica was already on her feet, anger radiating off her in waves. I can't believe this. I come to you for help in a crisis, but are you trying to manipulate me into being someone I'm not? Jessica, calm down, Michael interjected. Let's discuss this rationally. There's nothing to discuss, Jessica snapped. I left this family for a reason. These are the exact type of control tactics I was trying to get away from. I wanted to make a real difference in the world with my foundation, not be a pawn in some power play. Jonathan's face reddened, his own temper flaring. Don't you dare speak to me that way. I am still your father. Are you? Jessica challenged. Because a real father wouldn't try to blackmail his daughter into submission. A real father would help her unconditionally, out of love. The room fell deathly silent, the weight of Jessica's words hanging in the air. Jonathan stared at his daughter, anger contorting his features. He seethed. After everything I've done for you, everything I've built, what you've made is a gilded cage, Jessica retorted, one that suffocated Mom until it killed her. And now you want to do the same to me. Jonathan slammed his fist on the table, rattling the delicate china. Don't you dare bring your mother into this. Why not? Jessica pressed. Isn't that what this is really about? Your inability to love, to be a real husband and father? Enough, Jonathan roared, sweeping the coffee mugs off the table in a rage. They shattered on the floor, shards of ceramic flying everywhere. Michael leapt to his feet, trying to interpose himself between the warring father and daughter. But it was too late. The Abrams tempers had already exploded. I'm starting to wonder if Jeremy was telling the truth at the hospital, Jessica said, her voice shaking with fury and betrayal. What if you're lying to me about him just to get me to divorce him and come back under your thumb? Jonathan's face twisted. You'd really trust that lying, cheating scoundrel over your own father? I don't know who to trust anymore, Jessica cried. But I do know one thing. I will never be your puppet again. I'll handle the divorce myself. I'm done with you, Dad. For good this time. Jessica walked out the door, but a flicker of doubt flashed in her mind. Can I handle someone like Jeremy by myself? What a nightmare. Anna comforted Jess by placing a hand on her shoulder. I'm so sorry, Jess. I know how much you want this craziness with Jeremy to end. They sat in the cozy break room of the Dream Builders Foundation, surrounded by colorful artwork and heartfelt thank you notes. At least I have this, Jessica said, gesturing to the walls. The foundation helping kids is the only thing that brings me true joy, Anna. It's what keeps me going when everything else feels like it's falling apart. You have done amazing work here, Jess. Your mom would be so proud of you. When her late mother was mentioned, Jessica's eyes misted. She's the reason I started Dream Builders, you know. She always believed that education was the key to breaking the cycle of poverty. Jessica's mind drifted to memories of her mother, a fierce and compassionate woman dedicated to helping others, even as the wife of a dangerous man. I just wish she was here to guide me through this mess with Jeremy, Jessica said, her voice thick with emotion. I feel so lost, Anna, so alone. Anna pulled her into a tight hug. You are never alone, Jess. You have me, and you have the kids here at Dream Builders. We're your family, and we'll always have your back. Jessica clung to Anna, drawing strength from her unwavering support. There's something else I need to tell you, Jessica said, pulling back to look Anna in the eye. About my father and the Abrams name, Anna's brow furrowed with concern. What happened, Jess? Have you seen your father? Did you go back? Jessica nodded, a humorless laugh escaping her lips. I went back, and he was even worse than I remembered. She recounted the explosive argument at the Abrams estate and how her father had tried to manipulate her into taking back the family name and rejoining the family business. He's so toxic, Anna, Jessica said. He doesn't care about me or what I want. He just wants to control me, to mold me into his perfect little heiress. Anna's jaw clenched, a protective fire blazing in her eyes. I always knew Jonathan was a piece of work, but this is a new low. Taking advantage of you when life just dealt you such a difficult blow. How dare he try to blackmail you like that? And the worst part is, I don't know if I can trust anything he or Michael Shapiro says anymore. What if they're lying about Jeremy using me just to get me to divorce him and come back under my father's thumb? They showed me all these legal documents and said that he fraudulently put all these illegal businesses in my name. I just don't know who to believe. Anna considered this. It's possible, Jess, but from what we have learned in the past few days, Jeremy is more than capable of lying and manipulating on his own. I mean, look at what he did with Tiffany and the fake blood transfusions. Jessica's chest tightened at the betrayal. You're right. I can't let my guard down with either of them. I mean, Tiffany texted me a picture of his boxers. Her eyes watered, but she seemed determined, which is why I'm going to handle this divorce on my own terms. And you know what, Anna? I'm done with men altogether. Jeremy burned me. My father burned me. He burned my mother. I'm stronger than any man that's ever been in my life, and I don't need them. Jess, I get that you're hurt and angry, and you have every right to be. But don't you think swearing off men entirely is a bit extreme? There are good guys out there, ones who would treat you with the love and respect you deserve. Jessica shook her head vehemently. I don't want to hear it, Anna. I've given men chance after chance, and all they've done is let me down. I'm better off on my own, focusing on my work and my own happiness. Anna sighed. I understand where you're coming from, Jess, and if you want to take a break from dating for a while, I totally support that. But don't close yourself off to the possibility of finding love again someday. You deserve to be happy, to have a partner who cherishes you for the amazing woman you are. Do you think I can be happy with a man after everything I've been through? My father controlled and manipulated my mother until it broke her. Jeremy probably was cheating on me, and now they're both trying to use me for their own gain. No, Anna, I'm done being a pawn in men's games. From now on, I'm calling the shots. Okay, I hear you, and I'm not trying to invalidate your feelings or experiences. I just don't want you to miss out on something wonderful because of the actions of a few terrible men. I appreciate that, Anna. I really do. But right now, I need to focus on myself, on healing and rebuilding my life on my own terms. And there's something else I haven't told you. She took a deep breath, her hand instinctively going to her stomach. I'm pregnant, Anna. I found out just before all hell broke loose with Jeremy and Tiffany. Anna's eyes widened in shock. Oh my God, Jess, that's incredible. But wait, how do you feel about this with everything going on? Honestly, at first I was terrified. I mean, I'm in the middle of a messy divorce. My career is up in the air, and I'm barely holding it together emotionally. But the more I think about it, the more I feel like maybe this baby is a sign, a chance for a fresh start, a new beginning, a way to channel all the hurt and anger into something positive, something that's just yours. Please don't tell anyone. Of course, bestie. This baby is a part of me, Anna, and I know it won't be easy doing it on my own, but I also know that I'm strong enough to handle it. I've survived so much already, and I've come out the other side. I can be an amazing mom with or without a man by my side. Damn right, you can. And you know what? I bet you're going to be the most kick-ass single mom this city has ever seen. That kid is lucky to have you. Jessica laughed. And they're lucky to have you as their auntie. I mean, who else is going to teach them silly dances? And when they get older, how to talk their way out of a speeding ticket. Hey, those are valuable life skills, Anna protested. But in all seriousness, Jess, I'm here for you every step of the way. You're not alone in this. We'll figure it out together. I love you, Anna. I don't know what I'd do without you. Back at you, Mama Bear. Now let's talk baby names. I'm thinking something badass, like Phoenix or Rebel. Jessica snorted, pulling back to swat at Anna's arm. I am not naming my child after a comic book character or a car, but I do like the idea of something strong, something meaningful. I have a favor to ask. I have my first doctor's appointment later today. Anna placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Do you want me to come with you for moral support? Jessica's heart swelled with gratitude. Would you? I don't think I can face it alone, Anna. Not after everything that's happened. Of course, Anna said firmly. What are best friends for? Besides, I can't wait to see the little peanut on the screen. I'm going to be the coolest auntie ever. Lucky kid, having you in their corner. They started to hear some students trickle in. They spent the rest of the day distracted by work, tutoring students. For a few blissful hours, Jessica thought to herself, it's times like this where I can easily forget my terrible husband and my fears of being a single mother. I guess if this is what people say when they tell you to do what you love, and you'll never feel like you worked a day in your life. After work, Anna and Jessica decided to walk the streets. A cute firefighter came up to Jessica and offered her his number. Call me. He winked and walked off. Anna shook her head at Jessica. Wow, Jess. You're barely trying, and a gorgeous New York City firefighter flirts with you. This only happens to you. And maybe it's the pregnancy glow. Are you sure you want to swear men off? Jessica laughed and couldn't believe it either. Trust me, Anna, romance is the last thing on my mind right now. And until Jeremy Thorne in my side signs the divorce papers, I'm still technically married. And the only thing on my mind is making sure this life inside me grows up healthy and well. Soon enough, the two best friends went inside the doctor's office. They sat in the waiting room of Dr. Manny's office, hands clasped tightly together. The door opened and a smiling nurse called out, Jessica McDonald, doctor, Manny is ready for you now. Taking a deep breath, Jessica steeled herself as she and Anna followed the nurse into the exam room. Doctor, Manny, a kind-faced woman in her 40s, greeted them warmly. She patted the exam table, inviting Jessica to lie down. Now, let's take a look at that baby, shall we? Jessica climbed onto the table, and a nurse came in to do her blood work. Doctor, Manny prepared the ultrasound machine. Anna stood by her side, holding her hand and offering encouraging smiles. As Dr. Manny moved the wand over Jessica's belly, the room filled with a soft, rhythmic whooshing sound. Jessica's breath caught in her throat, her eyes fixed on the screen. But as the seconds ticked by and no clear image appeared, Doctor Manny's brow began to furrow. She adjusted the wand, pressing a little firmer, her eyes on the monitor. Is everything okay? Jessica asked. Doctor, Manny didn't answer immediately, focusing entirely on the screen. After what felt like an eternity, she finally turned to Jessica. You said you got pregnant over 6 weeks ago, correct? Yes, it definitely would have been over 6 weeks ago. Can you please tell me what you're seeing? Doctor, Manny comforted Jessica by holding her arm. Let's wait until the blood test comes back. For now, I want you to wait here. The doctor walked out of the room, and Jessica turned to Anna. What do you think is wrong with my baby?
Jessica's heart pounded against her ribs, a frantic drum beat echoing the fear that had begun to creep into her bones. Anna squeezed her hand, her face etched with worry. What could be wrong? Was there something wrong with the baby? Was this just another blow in a string of devastating events? What will the blood test reveal? Will this experience strengthen her resolve to be a single mother, or will it shatter her fragile hope for a happy future?
Hey, I'm Jessica, if you're wondering what happens next. Download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episodes of Hidden Fortune Secret Love.